The phone trembled in my hand, its screen blurring through tears as her message burned into me. "You're not always part of my life." Each word was a shard, slicing through the fragile thread of us. My heart pounded, memories flooding, her laughter over morning coffee, her hand in mine during quiet walks, the way we'd dream under starlit skies. But those moments had faded, replaced by cold silences and her distant gaze. Fingers shaking, I typed, "From now on, you never will be," and sent it, the words tearing something inside me. It wasn't just anger, it was the ache of letting go. Our apartment felt like a museum of our love, every corner heavy with ghosts. Her scarf draped over the couch, my old sketchbook on the shelf, remnants of a life we'd woven together. We'd met in a whirlwind, her wild spirit pulling me from my cautious world. She'd paint dreams of far-off places, I'd map out how we'd get there. But somewhere, our colors clashed. Her dreams felt like betrayals, my plans like chains. Her text wasn't a surprise, it was the final crack in a foundation we'd stopped tending. I sat, head in hands, grieving what we'd lost. I wandered to the park where we'd carved our initials into a bench, the memory so vivid it hurt. The air was sharp, leaves whispering underfoot as I traced those faded letters, my fingers lingering on the grooves. We'd been so sure back then, so in love. But her laughter had grown rare, her eyes always searching for something I couldn't give. I'd poured myself into fixing us, candlelit dinners, handwritten notes, but she'd slipped further away, her heart already half gone. My reply wasn't spite, it was the surrender of a man too tired to fight alone. That night, I packed a bag, each item a small goodbye. Her favorite mug stayed on the counter, next to a note, "I hope you find your happiness." The door's click as I left echoed like a heartbeat stopping. The city blurred past my car window, streetlights smearing through tears. I drove to a friend's, collapsing on his couch, the weight of her absence crushing me. I saw her in everything, the songs on the radio, the scent of rain. I wondered if she'd read my note, if she'd felt the same hollow ache. Weeks crawled by, each day a battle to keep moving. My friend's spare room was a refuge, its emptiness mirroring mine. I took a job at a bookstore, shelving stories of lives less broken than my own. Customers smiled, unaware of the storm inside me. I'd see her in flashes, her smile in a stranger's, her voice in a passing laugh. I stopped checking her posts, not out of strength but fear of what I'd find. The pain was a constant companion, but it carved out space for truths I'd ignored. I'd lost myself trying to hold on to her. One rainy morning, I found our old book on a shelf, its pages worn from nights we'd read it together. Her voice echoed in my mind, soft and teasing as she'd read aloud. I bought it, clutching it like a piece of her I could still hold. That night, I read alone, tears staining the pages. It wasn't just loss, it was rediscovery, a fragile step toward remembering who I was without her. Each word felt like a stitch, slowly mending the raw edges of my heart. Spring arrived, softening the city's harsh lines. I moved into a tiny studio, its bare walls a canvas for a new start. I hung a small painting, set up a shelf for books I chose alone. The pain of her absence lingered, but it no longer defined me. I was learning to carry it, like a scar that tells a story. I thought of her less, not because I didn't love her, but because I was learning to love myself. Her words had shattered me, but they'd also set me free to rebuild. One evening, I returned to our bench, the initials barely visible now. The sunset painted the sky in hues we'd once watched together, and I let myself feel it all, the love, the loss, the hope. Tears fell, but they were lighter, cleansing. Her text had been a wound, but it had also been a gift, pushing me to find a strength I didn't know I had. I stood, leaving the bench and our past behind, my heart heavy but open. The path ahead was uncertain, but for the first time, I walked it unafraid.